Example 2. So the first thing in example 2 that you'll notice is the CFSs over here. The CFS is almost the same as what you've had before, right? So you're going to determine which price represents the whole and the part. You substitute into the equation. You divide the part with the whole to find the percent. Now the main CFS is number 4. So most of this is review. The one that's pretty new is the last one, where you need to subtract the percent of the new price with the original price, because all of your questions are going to ask to find the markup percentage, not the percentage of the new price. Okay, so please keep that in mind. Now, how you should set up your work, I have it over here. And we are actually going to get started on that. So you have the original price, which represents the whole. The whole's at 100%. We know that. The new price, and with the part and the percent, because that's what it's going to give us today for our classwork. And the last is to remind you that the markup is the difference between the new price percent and the original price percent. So for example 2, it says a store purchased fountains for $210 and then sold them for $441. What is the markup as a percentage? Now this is going to be a big markup, because if you notice already that 440 is more than double 210, right? Double 210 would be 420. And so this is actually going to be a pretty big percentage, and you should already be aware of that when you're looking at these two numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and start on my notes. The original price of the fountain, was, as we have, $210. And the new price after, which is more than double at this point, is $441. Okay, sorry. Now, remember that the new price percent, or the percent, is going to represent the new price, not the markup price, which means the markup is 100% plus the markup, right? So I'm going to write markup here is going to equal the percent of the new price, since the whole is at 100%. So when I substitute, we're going to put the part, which is $441, equals the percent, and I'm going to put X and times the whole, which is 210. And remember, we're rewriting this with the coefficient always to the left of the variable. That's just like something that you always are going to get used to. You just always will write it like this. Okay, now what we're going to do is, remember that we're always finding the coefficient of 1. So I'm going to divide the coefficient by itself. And what I get is 1x equals 441 divided by 210. So when we put this in our calculator, you write it exactly that. 441 divided by, this is going to be, like I said, a big number, 210. And what we get is 2.1. So I'm going to put 2.1 over here. And we want to find that as a percentage, right? So to find that as a percent, we have 2.1 times 100%, which means we will be moving the decimal twice, once and then another, which means we added 0, which means 2 1/10, if I multiply by 100, it's going to give me 210%, which means that that is the percent of the new price, which makes sense because the price is bigger, or like more than double the original price. And if it was double the original price, that would be 200%. So 210% makes sense. But again, get this. We are trying to find the markup percentage. So how much did it increase by from 100%? And so the last thing that you need to do is subtract. So I'm going to subtract to find my markup percentage, the new price, which is 210%, minus the original price, which is 100%, and that's going to give me 110%. So this markup is actually a lot bigger. It can be bigger than 100%. So the markup is 110%, which gives me the percent of the new price, right? So my final answer is going to be 110% because that's how much the price actually increased by. So when we type this in, we're going to put 110%. So always remember, I'm going to reiterate that you are subtracting the new price percent with the original to find the markup.